Our number one story in the countdown, Sam Joe the Plumber Wurzelbacher proudly resuscitates the slur queer in defense of his bigoted views against gay marriage. And Carrie Prejean, Miss California, objects to the posting of a racy photo of herself on the internet, a photo which is completely unnecessary and even unfair in asking whether she is an opportunist in her continued public opposition of marriage equality. Mr. Wurzelbacher first, in an interview with Christianity Today, asked what he thought about same-sex marriage. At a state level, it's up to them. I don't want it to be a federal thing. I personally still think it's wrong. But there's always a but with Sam the Joe Plumber. He launched into this. People don't understand the dictionary. It's called queer, he said. Queer means strange and unusual. It's not like a slur, like you would call a white person a honky or something like that. And later, I've had some friends that are actually homosexual, and I mean, they know where I stand, and they know that I wouldn't have them anywhere near my children. Meantime, the photo of Ms. Prejean on a website hyped as a nude picture. It is not. We have blurred it to meet our standards, but the unaltered version does not reveal anything pornographic. She's not wearing a top, but you could not confirm that from this photo. Miss California, you will recall, had tripped all over herself in the same-sex marriage question at the Miss USA contest, referring to opposite marriage and implying that California was its own country. She then aligned herself with the National Organization for Marriage, which opposes marriage equality, and she has now released a lengthy statement which reads in part, I am a Christian and I am a model. Models pose for pictures, including lingerie and swimwear photos. She did not describe the religion choice of the lingerie. Recently, photos taken of me as a teenager have been released surreptitiously. These attacks on me and others who speak in defense of traditional marriage are intolerant and offensive. Let's turn now to the Associate Professor of Politics and African American Studies at Princeton University, Melissa Harris Lacewell. Thanks for your time tonight.
Absolutely.
Joe Wurzelbacher in a moment, but about Ms. Prejean in that photo. When the pageant, the Miss California outfit, took a shot at her for politicizing things and kind of messing up their pageant, I thought covering that was fair. But about this photo, I mean, she's right, isn't she? Is that not just intrusive, but maybe more importantly, it's utterly irrelevant to this debate?
Well, it's interesting because in this case, she feels bad because she's being stigmatized based on an expression of her sexuality. She is being judged because she's part of a group that is generally stereotyped, that is pageant winners, and she's finding that her morality is being brought into question because of a set of personal choices that she's made. So I think it has everything to do with this particular debate in that it ought to be causing, dare I say it, empathy on the part of Miss California for gays and lesbians who are simply trying to live a life of full equality in the United States and are being judged and abused in all of these ways that she is now personally experiencing.
Okay, you convinced me. It's relevant. She actually confessed in a recent interview that she would like to be better educated on this subject, civil rights for gay people. She could not articulate an answer to a simple question about civil unions or about gay people adopting children. Isn't it her obligation to get that info before she becomes a spokesperson? Or am I asking too much of somebody to fall back on this stereotype of somebody who was raised on the beauty pageant circuit?
Well, I don't know if it's about people raised on the beauty pageant circuit, but it clearly could be a problem of California. I think the key here is that we need to follow Iowa. The center of American openness on the question of gay marriage is going to be Iowa. Who won the first caucus for Barack Obama? Iowa. It's the heartland that's going to lead us to equality.
To Wurzelbacher, who seems to step all over himself on just about anything. Well, this is now just unrestrained prejudice. Which fact is he more not aware of? That the majority of pedophiles are in fact heterosexual, or that children can't catch the gay?
Well, and certainly the idea that we need to protect our families from gays and lesbians suggests that our families aren't already full of gays and lesbians. I have a fabulous niece who has helped me in many ways to see the centrality of this particular battle. This is not just about marriage. We're also shepherding through the Matthew Shepard Act to push back against hate crimes against gays and lesbians. This is very much at the center of America's current crisis in sort of our sense of empathy, our connection with one another, and whether or not we're going to be a country that is in fact going to defeat the politics of fear. I think fear lost in November, and so I think this revision of Joe the plumber and this particular line of reasoning on divisiveness is really just the death throes of the politics of fear.
Well, you mentioned the Shepard Act. You also had the Washington City Council voting 12-1 to recognize same-sex marriages performed in other states, but their laws are subject to congressional review. These are both serious issues. Don't they deserve more serious public spokespeople on both sides?
I think that's true. Both that they deserve more serious spokespeople. We also, as much as I feel privileged to have an opportunity to speak on LGBT issues, we also need more LGBT spokespersons themselves having an opportunity to speak. And so, yes, this is a serious issue that needs serious conversation. Melissa
Harris-Lacewell of Princeton University, great thanks for your time tonight. Thanks for your perspective.
Absolutely.
That's countdown for this, the 2,196th day since the previous president declared mission accomplished in Iraq. I'm Keith Olbermann. Good night and good luck.